Welcome to your Live 5 News at 11. I'm Samantha German. We are staying on top of the severe allegations of misconduct within the Charleston County School Board. The South Carolina office of the State Inspector General released the report just hours ago. Governor Henry McMaster first ordered the investigation back in January. Major findings include an unnamed school board member leaking confidential information, failing to accurately report their income on their tax returns, FOIA violations, and costly misuse of legal counsel. Among the allegations is a trustee fraudulently invoicing the district for money through a vendor called Next Level. A search through the state vendor search reveals the company contact as Darlene Roberson, who was a board member. In a statement to Live 5, Roberson wrote, "Based on my initial reading, I do not see a clear violation of law or board policy. What I see are differences of opinion and interpretation that occur in governing and legislative bodies." The Charleston County School District issued a statement tonight and says it will review the report's recommendations to strengthen safeguards where possible. Chair Pamela McKinney also issued a statement on behalf of the district's school board. She said, quote, "We consider the actions described in the Inspector General's report deeply serious and concerning." Her statement went on to say the board would fully cooperate with local, state, and federal law enforcement. The OIG is recommending Governor McMaster to terminate an unnamed board member. The governor's office confirmed that McMaster has received the report and is reviewing it to determine the next possible steps.